What's going on, y'all? Levon with Markem Catchem here. Out on the water today, doing our initial testing of our prototype Kraken Mount with the Livescope on it. Things have been going pretty well. We had to make one small modification to the bracket. We're going to work with our manufacturer to try and tweak this just a little bit more for you guys, but the initial results are great. So jump right into it. Bait selection today, 3/8 ounce jig, paddle tail. Got our range set at 125, 74% gain, 100% color gain, blue color palette. Our TVG is off, ghost reject is low, noise reject is low. Those are our settings. Everything else is factory. Grid off, 2.5 foot depth. I think that's everything off the top of my head. So we're gonna cancel this spot lock here. Quick interruption before we get started here. I wanted to mention that I had the gain a little too high. Didn't think it was too high on the water. There was a little pepper on the screen, but the screen recorder definitely picked up more noise than what it looked like in reality. So a little bit more noise, that means your jig shows up a little bit better, but I typically don't run with that much pepper on the screen. I like a little cleaner screen than that. So you'll see in the video it's at 74, 75%. 68%, 70% was probably the right number for yesterday. Get the boat turned around so the sun isn't at her back, or is at her back. You'll see as I'm turning, this is speed 20 on the video overlay. You do get a little interference where this Livescope is at. Again, this is speed 20. We're going downwind now. Drop that down to speed 10, which is half throttle. Very, very little interference. You could probably get rid of more. You want to turn your noise and ghost reject up. I don't like those settings being on because the screen is plenty clean as it sits right now. Bump that range out a little bit. And we'll make a cast. This is what everyone wants to see. Crystal clear impact at 90. Obviously the bait's falling straight down, but we're going closer and closer to it. So we'll reel that in, see if we can get a little bit more range. This wind is really making things problematic, trying to get the sun and the wind and the lighting all to line up for 125 foot impact. Let's see what we get. A little too far. Let's see if we can pick it up while we're making another cast. There, you can kind of see it. Might be hard to see on video. There it is at 190, sinking, dropping down on that fish at 80. One thing I've really noticed as we're doing this testing here is I can really watch that jig fall straight down. That 8 degree, if your jig hits right here, it's falling out of that cone. Whereas if your Livescope straight up and down, your jig hits here, it's falling straight down. You see it the whole time. It makes for a much better user experience. Get the boat squared up to the wind again. So there's an impact at 110. Bait tracking, no problem. I bumped the throttle right there. So there's a really good view at 110 of what you'll see now that you can actually see what your bait's doing. There it is, reeling it in at 85. Again, we're in 15 mile an hour wind right now, so the boat blowing around is not ideal. Lure at 55, plain as day. Now you're into your sweet spot. So this 100-foot range is typically where I set mine, especially when I'm fishing the slot in May. The fish are real eager to put on the food bag and re-nurse themselves after that spawn. Super easy to catch, but they're in pods kind of spread all out. So you need a little bit of range. So I'll just fan like this and we'll pretend I'll see a pod over here and make your cast. And let's see. Nice and clear if I can hold my foot still. 80 feet. It's at 65 now. I would probably, if I was fishing the slot, turn my gain down a little bit. Saginaw Bay is a lot cleaner than this lake is. We only got about 4-foot visibility out here. So you can see in that video clip right there, burn this in. So we'll drop the range and do one last simulation for the river guys. This is another time where that straight up and down really makes a difference. Let this wind blow us, hit spot lock. This is going to simulate how you're in the river. Once the boat squares up, see how your jig's on screen the whole time, falling straight down. Before, it would definitely fall in and out, and you're constantly weaving that trolling motor back and forth to try and make it on your screen so you can see what's going on. We've had enough fighting this wind today. If you got any questions or comments, hopefully we've got a few more weeks before we have to put the boats away and get the lake shanties ready. But hoping to do a few more demo days. I got a National Walleye Tour Pro going to be demoing this in Lake Huron here soon. So hopefully we get some feedback from him and start getting these in people's hands for spring of 2026. Thanks for watching.